U.S. Citizenship Test, Part 1, The Journey Begins.
The sun streamed through the window of the small community center study room, casting a warm glow over the wooden table where Mark Collins sat, waiting. Today was important, perhaps more than any other day he'd had since coming to America 5 years ago. Across from him, Ann Rivers, his tutor, shuffled through a pile of papers, organizing the material for their lesson. She was known for her straightforward, no-nonsense approach, and Mark knew she was going to make sure he was prepared for the citizenship test. Mark had been preparing for weeks, but now, sitting here, he felt a sudden wave of nervousness. This was more than just a test of facts. It was about proving he understood the principles that made this country what it was. Anne looked up from her papers and smiled gently, motioning for him to sit down.
All right, Mark, let's get started. Today we'll be focusing on 3 major questions, each touching on a key element of American history and government. Remember, it's not just about getting the right answers, it's about understanding the meaning behind them. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good. Let's start with something fundamental. Every country has a beginning, and for the United States, that beginning is tied closely to its war for independence. Here's your first question. Question: when was the Declaration of Independence adopted? A. July 4th, 1776. B. September 17th, 1787. C. December 15th, 1791.
Answer A. July 4th, 1776.
Correct. The Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, 1776. It marked the colony's decision to break away from British rule and assert their right to self-governance. But why do you think that date is still celebrated so widely today?
I think it's because it's not just about the event itself. It's about what it represents. The birth of a nation that values freedom and the right to govern itself.
Exactly. It's a reminder of the sacrifices that were made to achieve independence and the principles that were set in motion that day, principles that continue to shape the country.
Mark nodded, feeling the weight of history. That date, July 4th, had always been a celebration in his community. But now he understood more deeply why it held such significance. Anne glanced down at her notes and moved on.
Now, let's shift focus to the framework that guides how the government functions today. Here's your second question. Question: what is the highest law of the land in the United States? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Constitution. C. The Declaration of Independence.
Answer B. The Constitution.
That's right. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It lays out the structure of the government and guarantees certain fundamental rights to all citizens. What do you think makes the Constitution so important?
I think it's because it provides a clear guide on how the country is run. But it also protects the people by ensuring that their rights are respected by the government.
Exactly. It's a living document, meaning it can be amended as needed to address new challenges while still protecting the core values of democracy and freedom. It's the foundation of all laws and governance in the United States.
Mark leaned back, considering the importance of the Constitution. Back in his home country, laws often felt arbitrary, and the people didn't always have a say in how they were governed. But here, the system was different, built to include and protect everyone.
All right, here's the last question for today. This one focuses on something every citizen should be aware of: voting. Let's talk about the responsibilities of citizens. Question: what is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? A. Serving on a jury. B. Paying taxes. C. Attending public school.
Answer A. Serving on a jury.
Correct. Only U.S. citizens can serve on a jury. Jury duty is one of the ways citizens participate in the judicial process. Why do you think this responsibility is so important?
I think it's because a jury is supposed to be made up of people from the community. Having regular citizens make decisions in court cases ensures that the law is applied fairly.
That's right. Jury service is a critical way for citizens to engage with the justice system. It ensures that the outcome of trials reflects the values and perspectives of everyday people. It's an important part of maintaining fairness and balance.
Anne stacked her papers neatly, signaling the end of the session. Mark felt the weight of the lessons settling in, not just as information to memorize, but as ideals to live by. These concepts, from the nation's independence to its constitution and the responsibilities of its citizens, were part of the path he was walking toward becoming an American.
You did a great job today, Mark. These aren't just facts to memorize, they're principles that will guide you as a citizen. Keep this in mind as you continue preparing for the test.
Thank you, Anne. I'm really starting to understand how all of this fits together. It's more than just passing the test. It's about understanding what it means to be part of this country.
Exactly. You're not just studying to become a citizen, you're learning to embrace the values that make this country what it is. Keep up the hard work, and you'll be ready.
Mark left the study room and stepped out into the cool afternoon air. The sun was beginning to dip below the horizon, casting a golden light over the community center. As he walked toward his car, he felt a deep sense of purpose. This journey toward citizenship wasn't just about memorizing facts. It was about understanding the values and responsibilities that came with being part of this nation. He knew there was more work ahead, but he was ready for it. As Mark reflects on the lessons of the day, think about this. How do principles like freedom and equality impact the rights and responsibilities of citizens?
Question for the audience: why was the Declaration of Independence written? A. To declare freedom from British rule. B. To establish the U.S. Constitution. C. To create the Bill of Rights. Understanding why documents like the Declaration of Independence were written helps us appreciate the values they still represent today.
Here are 5 words and phrases related to the theme of U.S. Citizenship Test. Part 1. The journey begins.
Independence, the state of being free from outside control or support. Constitution, the system of fundamental principles according to which a nation is governed. Amendment, a change or addition to a legal document, particularly the Constitution. Jury, a group of citizens sworn to give a verdict in a legal case based on the evidence presented. Responsibility, a duty or task that one is required or expected to fulfill.